Imagine a revolutionary city built in a straight line. The Line City, an audacious part of Saudi Arabia's NEOM megaproject, costing up to $1 trillion. Spanning 9 million residents across mirrored skyscrapers taller than the Empire State Building, this futuristic city aims for zero carbon emissions, powered by renewable energy and cutting-edge sustainability innovations. With no cars, key services within a 5-minute walk, and advanced infrastructure like desalination plants and unique commuting options, the line promises to redefine urban living. But is this city of the future even feasible? Contractors are laying off workers, raising doubts about the project's financial viability. With estimates ranging between $100 billion and $1 trillion, financial concerns are growing, especially with delays in approving NEOM's budget. Political factors, like the assassination of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, have also deterred crucial foreign investors. In this video, we'll explore the bold vision behind the line, dive into its financial and environmental promises, and unravel the controversies threatening to derail the project. Is this the city of the future, or a symbol of overambition? The line was first revealed in 2021 by Saudi Arabia's crown, Prince Mohammed bin Salman. By now, you've likely heard of it, but here's a quick refresher just in case. The design outlines a futuristic city, standing 500 meters tall and spanning 170 kilometers across the Saudi desert. Constructing it would be like building 2,801 World Trade Centers and placing them in a straight line. Then, imagine doubling that, 5,601 World Trade Centers in total. This massive structure is planned to house nearly 10 million residents. The city will be free of cars and greenhouse emissions, relying entirely on renewable energy. Advanced artificial intelligence will also be integrated into the line, tracking activities like criminal behavior and dispatching security teams in real time to handle any incidents. This is part of a broader initiative by Saudi Arabia called NEOM. In addition to the line, other extraordinary megaprojects are under development, including Trojena Winter Resort, Oxagon Port City, and the upscale Sandala Island. Recently, several new projects were revealed, such as massive hotels like Epicon, an inverted skyscraper known as Aquam, and an impressive venue carved into a mountain called Ut. When you look at these NEOM projects, it really seems like something from the future. However, it's important to note that when projects like the line were initially announced, many questioned whether they would ever become a reality. The line was dismissed as a mere publicity stunt, just impressive 3D visuals and big promises that would never come to life. This kind of skepticism is common in the world of massive projects, and maybe the critics were right after all. We'll dive into that shortly, but as of last year, much to everyone's surprise, work actually began. Satellite images revealed that construction was actively underway, and not just on a small scale. It appeared that crews were working on the foundations of the entire 170 kilometers stretch of the line at once, so large it could even be seen from space. While the rest of NEOM is scheduled to be completed by 2030, the line wasn't planned that way. The project was meant to be finished in stages, each possibly taking up to 30 years. However, Saudi Arabia aimed to complete a portion of the line by 2030, enough to accommodate 1.5 million residents. These satellite images were soon followed by official drone footage, as recent as February 2024. NEOM proudly showcased the vast site, declaring it the largest earthworks project in the world. However, that was 7 months ago, and in recent weeks, rumors have started circulating. Is the line still on track? While Saudi Arabia may be able to build the line, it's clear they won't be doing so at the ambitious scale originally envisioned. This mini-line is exactly what many had anticipated back then. Later, we'll explore what this smaller version might actually look like. However, to be clear, this downsizing has not been officially confirmed by NEOM. The story first broke in April of this year, when Bloomberg reported having seen confidential documents about the project after speaking to an inside source. According to another source who wished to remain anonymous, the decision to downsize the line is largely due to a lack of available funds. The original project was expected to cost around $1 trillion, but by September 2023, Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, the main backer of the NEOM project, had less than $20 billion available, the lowest balance in years. This shortfall is partly due to heavy spending on NEOM and also because oil prices have been struggling, which is a major source of the country's income. If this sounds familiar, it's because the situation mirrors the challenges faced by another Saudi megaproject, the Jeddah Tower. Before we go further, if you're intrigued by what's unfolding with NEOM and the line, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. We'll explore some of the world's most crazy and secretive projects, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Turn on notifications, because what we uncover next might just change the way you see your typical megaproject. Now, let's get back to it. The Jeddah Tower was meant to become the tallest building in the world, but in 2018, construction was halted when it was less than halfway completed. There were various financial issues with the project, which we won't delve into here, but construction is set to resume now that those issues have been resolved. Perhaps a similar outcome could happen with the line. Saudi Arabia could complete part of the project, like the 2.4-kilometer stretch, and finish the rest later. As we mentioned, this was always part of the original plan, to build the line in stages. However, there is an important distinction between the Jeddah Tower and the line's completion. While the Jeddah Tower is estimated to cost under $1 billion, finishing the line would require nearly $1 trillion, showing just how vast that difference is. Saudi Arabia could build around 1,000 Jeddah Towers for roughly the same cost as the line. If they've already struggled with completing just one tower, how could they possibly manage 1,000? This leaves them with one clear option. They'll need substantial foreign investment. But honestly, that's easier said than done. In fact, just in the past few weeks, Saudi Arabia sent NEOM officials to Shanghai and Beijing, where they presented images and animations of the line in hopes of attracting foreign investors. However, no major deals were finalized, as the investors left unimpressed after failing to secure what they were looking for in China. NEOM officials are now planning to charter private jets to bring in bankers and investors from around the globe, hoping some of them might commit funds. But with a price tag of $1 trillion, it honestly doesn't seem very likely. Foreign investors are simply not as captivated by the visions for NEOM and the line. They're wary of investing in a country with a spotty track record when it comes to completing projects. The Jeddah Tower and the King Abdullah Economic City, announced back in 2005 but never fully completed, are prime examples. Additionally, many investors are deterred by Saudi Arabia's human rights record. A year ago, 3 local tribesmen were sentenced to death after protesting the destruction of their homeland by the line. This is exactly the type of issue that potential investors typically don't want to associate their names with. To be clear, the downsizing hasn't been confirmed. Just weeks before the Bloomberg report, NEOM released an optimistic video about the line on their official YouTube channel, showcasing how this dream is becoming a reality. However, one has to wonder if Saudi Arabia is simply reluctant to acknowledge what's really happening. The line and NEOM as a whole are key elements of Vision 2030, designed to capture the world's attention. If they're canceled or reduced in scope, it could lead to waning interest, something Saudi Arabia can't afford. Perhaps that's why they're hesitant to confirm the truth of the Bloomberg story. So, what would this smaller version of the line actually look like? It's important to note that even a 2.4 kilometers version of the line would still be quite challenging to build. Not as difficult as the original concept, but still a significant undertaking. Take a look at this. Earlier, we mentioned that the full-length version of the line would be like 2 rows of 3001 World Trade Centers. Even the smaller 2.4 kilometers version, however, would still be the equivalent of 2 rows of 41 World Trade Centers, an ambitious project in its own right. This is especially true when considering that it's also supposed to be entirely car-free, fully renewable, and powered by cutting-edge artificial intelligence. Of course, if the length of the line is being reduced, there's no guarantee that these other features won't be scaled back as well. NEOM might also have to lower the height of the mini version of the line to make it more affordable or feasible from an engineering standpoint. Or worst-case scenario, could they cancel this ambitious megaproject altogether? And there's still one more important question to address. Where exactly would the mini line be built? There are a few likely locations for the mini line. As mentioned earlier, Saudi Arabia has already excavated over 100 kilometers of land, as shown in satellite images from 2023. These images reveal a rough outline of the excavation work, starting in the west near the Gulf of Aqaba and stretching eastward through deserts and mountains, ending at Shig, a stretch of land between two mountain ranges. This is clearly visible in the satellite images, marking a distinct cutoff point where the excavation stops. The mini line would likely be constructed somewhere between these two endpoints. After all, why not take advantage of the already excavated foundations? We can rule out the 30-kilometer stretch, as excavation work doesn't appear to have started there, likely due to the rocky, mountainous terrain. That leaves us with two possible options: a 20-kilometer section to the east or a 100 kilometers stretch to the west. It's difficult to say for certain, but the western section seems much more likely, at least from our perspective. The other NEOM projects are being built along the coastline, so it would make sense to build the mini line close to them. The most obvious location would be at the western end of the original excavation. In the initial plans, the line was supposed to have a hidden marina and a massive cruise ship port, and if they build the mini line at this western point, that marina could still be included. They've already started digging the marina, and as of 2023, it was the largest excavation in the world, with about 1 million cubic meters of earth being moved every week. Building the mini line here would ensure the pre-existing excavation work doesn't go to waste. However, there's another potential location further east. The original excavation site runs near the sea in an area known as Gal. In recent years, Saudi Arabia has developed a town there, NEOM Community, with sports fields, schools, mosques, offices, and homes. A bit further along, there's another town with a sector for plants and factories, all designed to support the line's construction. Given the proximity of these two towns, Gal might actually be the most logical place to build the mini line. It would offer better access to workers and construction materials, making the construction process easier. Plus, it's located along the coast between Sayala Island and Oxian, making it an ideal spot for travel between NEOM sites. We also found this part of the original excavation site, which seems deeper and more pronounced than the rest. There were hundreds of vehicles near this area when the satellite images were taken, suggesting it was one of the busiest spots along the entire length of the line. Interestingly, we measured this stretch at 2.37 kilometers, which rounds up to 2.4 kilometers, the same length as the mini line. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but what do you think? Do you believe the line is really being downsized? And if so, where do you think the mini line will be built? As the line evolves, it's clear that the world is watching to see if this ambitious project will deliver on its bold promises or fall short. But there's so much more to uncover. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on all the latest developments, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an upload. I've got a lot more exciting content coming your way, so stay tuned. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.